Hey there. Has any of you out there ever experienced any stress, anxiety, pain, maybe negative emotions that they just don't want to have that's bringing them down? Hey, I'm Jill, the health coach, and today I want to talk about a quick and easy technique that I use all the time that really can help eliminate these things. So this method, what can it do? It can actually remove negative emotions. It could even reduce food cravings. Who needs that? What about pain? It can actually help eliminate pain. And on the flip side, it could actually help you implement some positive goals. So what is this called? It's called the Emotional Freedom Technique, and or EFT, and it's been around for thousands of years because all it involves is applying pressure on certain meridian points in your body, and it just unblocks you. So it's kind of like acupuncture without the needles, and it's super, super easy. And the way it works is you tap on these points in combination with voicing positive affirmations, and what that does is it clears away blocks. And what's so important about positive affirmations, when a lot of times when we're experiencing all these different things, the pain, the, bad emotions, blah, 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 we beat ourselves up, right? So what does that do? It just makes us like, crazy. It makes us even more angry and more frustrated and more anxious. But when you instead forgive yourself, give yourself a positive affirmation, you notice your body goes into a state of relaxation, and it's more inviting to be able to release that block. So it really makes sense. And not only does it make sense, it works. And I use it with clients and myself all the time. It's awesome. So there's 5 steps. What you have to do is first tune into that emotion or problem by thinking about it and really focusing on it. And we want it to be at a very strong intensity. And as a matter of fact, I want you to actually rate that initial intensity because we want it to be as intense as possible. So let's see, I'll give mine. For example, I was speaking the other day and I was nervous, as I always do before I get up and lecture. But to help myself, bring myself down and get myself out of that state of nervousness, I use EFT. So tune into that emotion. So let's say I was just really nervous. I'm nervous, and think about it. Get yourself even more, revved up with it, because the higher the intensity is, the better this technique will work. So then I want you to test the initial intensity from a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the least, 10 being the highest. So you want to get up to that point of 10 because that will do an even better job at unblocking you. So if you have to talk to yourself a little like, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. What if I flub? What if I trip on stage? What if I do all these different things? So you want to get yourself as intensely in that moment as possible, and then rate yourself from a 1 to 10. Then you do what's called the setup. And really all it is, it's just kind of using, it's your sentence, your affirmation. So you acknowledge the problem, even though I am so nervous, and then you accept yourself in spite of it. So you would say, I deeply and completely accept myself. So an example, like for me, even though I'm nervous about doing this lecture, I deeply and completely accept myself. So you can do this with overeating. Even though I can't stop eating these cookies, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I can't focus on this project that I need to get done, I deeply and completely accept myself. So this is what we're going to do. So here's your setup. So first you've rated your intensity. Now you've got your setup. Now we know what we're going to say while we're tapping on each tapping point. But what are the tapping points? It's the sequence. So let's talk about the sequence and the actual points that you're going to tap onto. So the first one is a karate chop. Oh, take like 2 fingers, 3 fingers, and just tap on the other part of your body that we're tapping onto. So the first one is the karate chop. Then the next one is going to be the top of the head. And then you just tap lightly, not hard, just lightly while you're stating your setup statement. And then eyebrow, and then the outer eyebrow, and then the bottom of the eye, then the bottom of the nose, the chin, the underneath your clavicle, your collarbone. So you would just do that. And then underneath your it's right here. It's underneath your arm, which is like where your bra strap would be. Guys, you can just envision it. So those are the tapping points. So let's get started. So now I'm so nervous about this lecture. oh my gosh, what happens if I do this? Now I'm nervous and I can feel myself have a shortness of breath, and I'm rating myself, and let's say I have a rating of a 10. So now my statement is going to be, even though I'm so nervous about this lecture, I deeply and completely accept myself. So now let's start the sequence. Start with the karate chop. And what I want you to do is I want you to do this along with me. I want you to take your own emotion, set yourself up, get your sentence ready, and now let's do this together. So whatever yours is, you just literally will substitute whatever your emotion is for, as opposed to mine. So let's get started. Karate chop. Even though I'm so nervous about this lecture, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I'm so nervous about speaking in front of this really large crowd, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I am so nervous about side of the eyebrow. Even though I'm so nervous about speaking in front of this large crowd, I deeply and completely accept myself. Under the eye. Even though I am really nervous, I deeply and completely accept myself. Under the nose, even though I'm so nervous about speaking, what if I mess up? I deeply and completely accept myself. On the chin, even though I'm really nervous and uptight about speaking in front of this crowd, I deeply and completely accept myself. Collarbone, even though I'm really nervous about speaking and doing this lecture. What if I mess up? What if something doesn't work? I deeply and completely accept myself. Under the arm, even though I am nervous about doing this lecture, I deeply and completely accept myself. Now what I want you to do, even close your eyes or not, but just take a deep breath in. Hold it and exhale. I feel so much better already. How about you? So now I want you to, don't forget this last step, is I want you to rate that sense of intensity now. How do you feel on this scale of 1 to 10? I'm feeling like a 1. It really relaxed me. Every time I do this, it really gets me in the zone, and it works so well. Now, if you're still at a state of 5 or 4, maybe it's even a 6, do the sequence again until you get lower and lower until you get to 1. The point is it really works, and you've got nothing to lose. So try EFT on your own. Let me know how you do, if you like it. If you like any of these videos, feel free to subscribe to Jill the Health Coach. You can check out my website at jillthehealthcoach.com.